The polar bear is starving now. It is we, humans, who caused the melting of the polar ice, putting these creatures into an untenable situation.
Rebecca Lee, the first Hong Konger to explore the Earth's three extremes, the North and South Poles and the Mount Everest region, has witnessed climate change's impacts on our planet. Over nearly 3 decades, she had amassed a collection documenting her polar travels. She wanted to display it publicly to broadcast the conservation message. The Chinese University of Hong Kong provided the solution, opening the Interactive Museum of Climate Change last December. The Polar Gallery displays her valuable artifacts, including the gear she wore at the North Pole, and rock, animal, and plant specimens collected from the extremes. A biologist gave her this emperor penguin egg at the South Pole in 1991, which she brought back to Hong Kong.
My expedition member found this emperor penguin egg which had rolled out of its nest, froze and cracked, with no live chick inside. So they emptied the shell and cleaned it up. Many children love penguins. When they see the egg, they may search for information about emperor penguins and get to know more about polar animals' living environments, including climate change and the problems it brings.
This rock type, called gneiss, is commonly seen in the South Pole. Ms. Lee calls it the wind chime stone. It produces sound when the polar winds blow through the many holes on its surface. This chunk has deposits of garnet, which can be made into gemstones after it is cut and polished. That makes this rock the museum's greatest treasure.
About a decade ago, I noticed this kind of rock on display in China's Polar Research Institute in Shanghai. I told them that once I had a museum in Hong Kong, I wanted a piece to be the highlight, as it is heavy, expensive, and has long history. I am grateful that they agreed, and I received it just a week before this museum opened. Now I can show it to students in Hong Kong.
Before Ms. Lee became an explorer, she was an established professional designer with strong ability in filming, drawing, and writing. On her maiden voyage to the Antarctic in 1985, she quickly changed paths to help the research team prepare detailed records of its work at the poles. In the remote Antarctic research stations, Ms. Lee lived in a shipping container cottage. A replica is on display at the museum, furnished with original items she donated. They include a copy of a fax that she sent from the South Pole in 1991, photos of her research teammates, and her original sketchbooks in which she captured slices of polar life.
I could finish my sketches without a draft. My hands just followed my mind, but I can't draw like this anymore. This is an ice fish which I brought back from the South Pole. I drew it in detail, showing its gill and scales. I also put a chop here to record the longitude and latitude where I found the fish. I'm afraid I will forget this someday in the future, so I must grasp the opportunity to pass this to the next generation.
At the age of 71, she feels time is running out.
I have high expectations. I hope students understand that our world is much bigger than Hong Kong and widen their will. Hong Kong teenagers have great potential. They can be geologists, explorers, glaciologists, or meteorologists. There are many things for them to do.